in the name of God, who placed two iron walls between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea of the Middle East, as a barrier from the north to the south, named the Caucasus mountain ranges, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. This is the 5 seas of the Middle East here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the Black Sea. And there is a story that is secretly a symbolism for this area and this mountain range, these mountain range. This is the Caucasus mountain ranges. And this is the Black Sea, this is the Caspian Sea. So I'm going to read you a paper discussing the geography and the economic power of this Black Sea. And you can see here's another of the 5 seas, the Caspian Sea. And between them is entirely, from shore to shore, a mountain range. And we are going to look at do a satellite journey. After we discuss it. But these are 2 mountain ranges that are 10,000 feet high. The first range has peaks up to 16,000 feet. And the second range has also 10,000 foot. This is the country of Georgia, and then you get into the second range further south. And if we, this is the first mountain range here with 10,000 feet high mountains. And then here's your second range, the lower Caucasus. Here are the higher ranges here. There's some lower ranges here. And these are the countries of Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia at the wall. And there's a story that is very significant to the activity that is here. And that story is about a struggle for power and a king from the north. So that there would be a king, Gog, the people from the city or from the land of Magog in the north that would come down and attack. And there is probably so many versions of the story, but very significantly, there is this huge and very popular series named The Game of Thrones. And it tells the story of a power struggle between 4 or 5 different tribes or families. And it's very similar, except that these are all in Europe at the time. So they would be from here. These would be talking about everybody over here. And there's a very significant part of this whole operation that ends in another king of the north. And there is a power struggle between the families. And this is set in medieval times. until the king of the north, and this is something that continues throughout the entire series until the end, when the king of the north invades, and they have this talk that they do. The winter is coming, and that it would be an invading army, and it would pass over a great wall of ice in the north, and that if they broke this wall, that the king of the north would come down, and it would mean the destruction, which the power struggle alone was the destruction of the families. So we're discussing the Black Sea, one of the 5 seas of the Middle East. And there is a pearl city of each sea where the economic power has focalized. And of the Black Sea, the pearl is Istanbul. The Black Sea is one of the 5 seas of the Middle East. The Middle East is a landmass east of the White Sea, where and ends when you arrive in Asia at the east and Russia at the north. You can say that the Middle East is between Asia, Russia, and the White Sea. Asia and Russia are the east. For thousands of years, the city at the southwest shore of the Black Sea was the most powerful city because it controls the economic connection between the Black Sea and the White Sea. The Pearl of the Black Sea is the city named Istanbul, formerly known as Constantinople. The city of Istanbul has been the gateway for the economy of the Black Sea to the White Sea to merge and intertwine. The Black Sea has very fertile lands at the north shores. The country of Ukraine occupies the beaches of the northwest. A peninsula extends 100 kilometers from the center of the North Shore into the Black Sea, named Crimea. The northeast shore is Russia. The northeast of the Black Sea has a mountain range that extends from the coast of the Black Sea to the shores of the Caspian Sea, dividing the north of the Black Sea from the east of the Black Sea. The Caucasus mountain range rises 10,000 feet and more, like an iron wall, separating Russia from the east shore of the Black Sea. At the east shore is the country named Georgia, which controls all of the east shore of the Black Sea because the east shore has mountains in the north and mountains in the south. Georgia is the land between the mountain ranges of the upper and the lower Caucasus. Georgia is the east shore of the Black Sea with a fortress of mountains. At the southeast of the Black Sea, the lower Caucasus mountain range divides the east shore of the Black Sea from the south shores by extending 300 kilometers east and raising tens of thousands of feet above the sea level. God has set 2 iron walls, an upper and a lower, to divide the shores of the Black Sea at the north and the east. The 2 mountain ranges, having peaks over 10,000 feet, are the protection of the south shore of the Black Sea. The mountains stop the north of the Black Sea from traveling via land south to the Black Sea, and the only way to travel is by sea. At the south shore of the Black Sea, the country Turkey entirely occupies. From the south of the east mountain range named the Lower Caucasus to the south of the east land bridge where the city Istanbul, or of the west land bridge where the city of Istanbul oversees the crossing from the Black Sea to the White Sea. On the south shore of the Black Sea in Istanbul, looking westward upon the west shore of the Black Sea, is the country Bulgaria, and further north on the west shore of the Black Sea is the country of Romania, who shares borders with Ukraine. Istanbul is a city that looks to the north and sees the Black Sea, who looks to the south and sees the White Sea. Istanbul is the gateway for the economies of the north countries of the Black Sea to access the south of the planet through waterways. Waterways are a powerful force of the economy of any land because it is the fastest and most economic mode of transporting economic assets. Your loving daughter, Catherine L. Wan, written on Friday, January 19th of 2024. And now we'll do the satellite tour of the Black Sea. So the Black Sea has a flat land here that's very fertile because there is underground water, and the Black Sea has a connection with the White Sea here. So the Black Sea connects with the White Sea here through this waterway, and this is the Pearl City of Istanbul. And this entirely controls the access to the White Sea on a waterway, which is quite essential for the north, for all of the north, to access, or this area especially, to access this part of the world, or to get by water to India and to these shores. So this is a very far travel for them to access this half of the world. This and this is mainly what they, unless they were to go by land through China to come around, or through these mountains. And although mountains are very uninhabitable, very inhospitable for people, mountains provide an incredible amount of wealth for the advanced human lifestyle. It provides the needed resources for the technologies. So Istanbul is a pearl city because the economy of mankind has focused there for thousands of years, and it has done that because of its strategic location. Whereas these mountains absolutely and entirely stop traffic. These stop traffic. These make it a cold and bitter and difficult journey. An icy road. Just entirely obstructive to economic movement. It's a barrier, it's a wall, and furthermore, these shores of the Black Sea at the south side are also quite high and just so incompatible with a fast economic movement or fast economic growth and connections, because the shores, the South Shore, is difficult to move traffic over, and it makes it the best, entirely best access point would be this lowland here, which is here at the center. There's some lower lands, and still you would need to get through these mountainous passes. So these are all very steep faced waterfronts until you get down to Istanbul. And it's very fertile, very green. And there's flatland for development of infrastructure. And this is the water channel. Through the city of Istanbul into the White Sea and onto all of the world. So this is the White Sea. This is the Black Sea looking south. And here is the infamous Volga River. And we're in Russia. We're in the north, behind the wall, on the shore of the Black Sea. We're on the Russian shores of the Black Sea. We can't get past the wall. And this here, to the west of Russia, is the peninsula country named Crimea. And here is Crimea, and here is Ukraine behind him. And this water access here is part of Ukraine. And this side here on the east shore is Russia. So here is the border. Here is the border of Ukraine. So Russia has a small waterfront, and Ukraine occupies this area. So this is entirely Ukraine here, and Ukraine's waterfront. This is the Dnieper River. And this is where 90% of the oil and gas in Ukraine is produced, right here at the Dnieper. Exactly where the Russians have invaded. This is Mariupol, and this is why this was one of the first battlefronts here when Russia began the invasion of Ukraine. And they've gotten this far. They control all of the oil and gas of the country of Ukraine. And there's, over in Kiev, the capital, there's a little bit, 10% of the gas of the country. And then, of course, all of the people of Ukraine have fled to Poland. And there's another country here. It does not have a waterfront. This one does. There's this country, Romania, here, and it has a small waterfront here. Was able to maintain control of the small waterfront. And this one so as we know, this one is Turkey occupies this entirely. And Turkey occupies this area and across the shore here. And then here is the border of Turkey with Bulgaria. And Bulgaria is this area here. Bulgaria was able to control the waterfront on the Black Sea, and it was not able to maintain any water access with the White Sea. This is the country of Greece here at the shore of the White Sea, and they've landlocked Bulgaria from accessing the White Sea. So Greece controls this, Bulgaria controls this, and Turkey controls this. Allahu Akbar.